Hello, this is Andrew, and this is a set of Farsports Feder, or Feder? Don't know. DT-Swiss 240 EXP hub wheels. No issues getting them delivered this time, which is awesome. They actually typed out the shipping label, so they came pretty quickly, all things considered. And now we're just going to get them out. So one interesting thing about this is that I didn't buy these through the website this time, and they're also a bit more expensive than the other ones that I've gotten before. I did organize a group buy with a friend of mine who incidentally was able to get them to custom build a set of Cannondale bikes. The higher end bikes have an offset which is non-standard in the rear wheel, and he was able to get them to build him a custom set. So we did a group buy. I got these, he got his, which have not yet arrived, but I'm going to let him open his own box when it gets here, so I won't be doing a review on those. So let's get these out of the box. Hopefully you can see that they are very well packed in here. So let's get the box out of the way and start with whichever wheel this is. So as you can see, they did a really good job of packing these up, and even included these little guys. Keep these because if you travel with your bike, it's great to throw this on to keep the disc rotor safe. Okay, so that's the first one, or the rear wheel. And I got another one of these, but just kind of flipped off on the floor there. And this is the front wheel. And they are impressive. Build quality is really nice, and you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Probably can't see it, but if you look down the hole here at the hub, you can actually see the label through the valve hole, which is exactly what it ought to be when you have a wheel built up really nicely. As I mentioned, these are the new DT-Swiss 240 EXP hubs. Which are supposed to be really nice. I'm not convinced that they're worth it, but that's kind of part of the reason why I got these. I just want to give them a go and see what they are. These are more expensive than the other wheels that I've bought from Farsports before, partially because now that I've had experience with them, I'm comfortable spending a little bit more. They were about $950 or about $1,000, I guess, after the you include the shipping fee or the handling fee. So let's get the measurements on this. So looks like 45.1. External is 27.5, and then the internal width is 21.4. 21.3. So pretty close to what they should be, given what Farsports marketed them as. And now let's get the weight. So rear wheel, throw that on there. 734 grams. And the front wheel, 638.6. And now I'll get them both together. Hopefully I can get them to stack nicely. So the total wheel set weight, 1,372.7 grams. So I don't recall exactly what they were supposed to be, but I think that that is super close to what they are. I will put the number up there, what they're supposed to be. So I got a set of 60 millimeter orange seal Versa valve, tubeless valves to put in here, and I'm going to roll with the Victoria Corsa Speed 2.0 tires on here at first, probably long term for the winter. I'm going to stick GP5000 tubeless on here, but I haven't fully decided that, so I'm just gonna put these on for now. What's really nice, actually, these valves, the 60 millimeters came with a darker burnt orange, which is my favorite kind of orange. So that's what I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna put on here. And I guess I would be remiss if I didn't weigh them. So they're 10 grams. All right, so that went on super easy. Okay, just like when I did the other Farsports, the 35 millimeters, the 25 was, or 23 was a little bit harder to get on, but obviously still get it on without any tools. Air compressor, valve in. There we go. I know I said I was going to run the Corsa Speeds for a couple weeks, but then I realized that it's November and the weather's going to get awful, and I don't have a couple weeks to ride on my super fast summer tires. So I just went ahead and slapped the GP5000 tubeless on here. And so let's get a width. This is a 25C, and this is 80 PSI, and I have 26.9. So normally I would do the wrapping up for an item out on the road, but unfortunately I forgot my wind canceling microphone today, and I wanted to get this done. So we're in my backyard, but that provides an opportunity for me to show these 45 millimeter Feder Farsports wheels in contrast to the 35 millimeter Kaze and the 65 millimeter Reynolds Aero wheels. So what I was looking for with these wheels was something that splits the difference between that wheel and that wheel. Those, on a day like today where we have 15 to 20 mile an hour head slash cross slash scary, swirly, come out of nowhere kind of wind, those are a sphincter tightening experience. And it can be a real challenge to keep the rubber side down on that set, where it's not at all difficult on those Kaze wheels, but you do give up a pretty good aero benefit versus the 65s. Now, of course, these are not going to be as fast as the 65s. That's just physics. You can't cheat that, but they kind of sit at a sweet place in the middle. And I really think that 45 to 50 millimeter depth is like a perfect place where you get that perfect balance of some aero plus a lot of stability. If I could have just one wheel set, it would be these. So if you take nothing else away from all the things I'm going to ramble on around about here, you should take away that I really like these wheels. I think that they are absolutely brilliant. There's a few reasons why I like them. One is that they're really easy to use tubeless. Now, you don't have to set them up tubeless because there's no spoke holes. You just don't have to worry about a lot of the stuff that you have to worry about on a tubeless ready rim that has spoke holes. Now, you might say, you know, the spoke holes, that's a maintenance nightmare. And I would have agreed with you, but I actually have a different set of Farsports wheels where I somehow or another I managed to bend the spoke and the nipple, and I had to go to a bike shop and get the nipple and spoke replaced. And it was really no big deal for the guy. I mean, you had to take the tire off, but he took the tire off and then he just fished the nipple through and put a new spoke in there, and it cost me $12 or $13 or something like that. So it wasn't nearly as big of a deal or nearly as scary as I thought it might be. So I'm really pleased that I went with the no holes in the rim approach. I did mount both these Continental GP5000s and the Corsa Speeds on the rims. The Corsa Speeds fit perfectly. They went on like butter. The Contis were a little bit more of a challenge. The rear one is an older one that I bought. I just had sitting around. I bought it when they first came out, and it was not that difficult to get on the rim. The one on the front was a newer tire, and it was really tight. I mean, I got it on without using tools, but it was still really tight. So don't feel, don't get defeated. It'll go on. You just have to work at it. The DT Swiss 240 hub is a very nice hub. It's a good upgrade over the 350. I'm not entirely convinced that the value is there versus the 350, because the 350 is just a really, really nice hub. But they are nicer, for sure. You can kind of notice that. But I'm not entirely convinced that they're the $200 or $300 that you pay for them nicer. They're lighter, so that's a measurable thing. The hub noise is louder than a 350 hub, so that's good. But it's not as loud as this Torch hub, the Industry 9 Torch hub. And this is like a weapons grade hub, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's loud, but it's not weapons grade. That's kind of a miss, but given how smooth that the hubs are, I think that's just kind of a white wine, something that I'm more than happy to deal with. And I can say easily that if I could just have one wheel set out of the 3 here, it would be this one. I just absolutely love these wheels. They're light, the hub is great, they're well made, the tubeless setup is easy and it works really well. And they kind of hit that sweet spot in aero performance, lightness, and comfortability when riding on a day where riding the 65s would be scary as hell. So hopefully you found that useful. If you did, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, or you've tried out some Farsports wheels, or you think I'm crazy, comment below, drop that below. I love getting the comments. Cheers.